Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasati Gaur Bhakta Vrindam Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasati Gaur Bhakta Vrindam.
Good afternoon, Cebu. Good day and Haribo Namaste to all our viewers. Welcome to this Thursday Yoga Talk. I am Nefai of Philippine Yoga Academy, and I am a yoga holistic coach. I have been helping people to achieve the optimum health and wellness and bring them to the best version of themselves. This show is all about yoga under the sun and beyond. We give you all the tips and the talks of yoga from its philosophy and practices to help you and assist you through your yoga journey. This afternoon, let us be inspired to know the myriad benefits of fasting to boost your level of performance and productivity. Our guest this afternoon is a reformer for social and economic change. His goal is to help the economy by making businesses and growing them as well as providing jobs. A believer and a primer for personal and professional development. He is a life coach, a corporate trainer, certified yoga instructor, health buff, the Renaissance man, Mr. Guapo, a father of three. Let's welcome Mr. Mark Martin. Hello.
Hey, what's up?
How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for the introduction.
Yeah. So, your background is quite amazing. Can you tell us about yourself and what you do and whom do you do it for?
Yeah, I just do like whatever enters my thoughts. Like sometimes my intuition just tells me like, hey, go do this, then or try this business or try this or like just go somewhere and then I just listen to my intuition. And yeah, I just do it for the people in the Philippines, and then because I think this country needs help economically and also with their personal development. So yeah, just try to help whoever, as many people as I can.
So how long you have been doing this training? Because I know before the COVID you have been doing this corporate training, right? So how
Yeah,
long have it started?
probably 2018. I started doing digital marketing training, and then from there I was like testing the market, and then got inquiries. So then I started doing other trainings like leadership and um, supervisory, sales, all types of training. But then I would get other trainers too, so they can come join and provide the training too.
Wow. So how is people of Cebu is accepting your you are trying to reform the business platform of Cebu City, right? So through your trainings and what do you call this one? The trainings that you are having is quite changing the lives of people, especially those establishment, right? So can you tell us more about that? How do you do that?
Yeah, they just a lot of I noticed like probably 60% of the people that join they are that's an in-house training. That's for St. Francis Funeral. That one is from corporate training. So Wendy invited me to talk about law of attraction. Yeah, that was law of attraction. And this is so that's my book too. And yeah, this is copywriting training for those that need to up their game in website copywriting and sales copywriting. So yeah, I just do like what people are looking for. Then I just help them either to provide training or to get a trainer for it.
So in a simple word, you are really a businessman.
Yeah, but from doing those trainings, right? Then I realized like even while I was doing the business training, I always wanted to do the personal development and letting people understand spirituality a little bit more and health, like because I feel like no matter how good you are in business or anything like that, if your health is not good, then you can't perform well because your number one capital is really your health.
Mm, yeah.
So that's why this year I'm gearing more towards like health and yeah. So I have the yoga studio here.
Wow.
So yeah, if you wanna come do yoga, we're gonna. And this part is like for meditation. Then I might have some books up there coming soon. So like after people do yoga, like they can just read. Like even if there's a class going on, somebody can just stay after the class and then they can read. And even if there's a class going on, that'll be like it should be comfortable for people to stay and do some personal development too.
It's sort of a lunge that you're creating. It's a lunge, right? A yoga lunge that you're
Yeah,
creating. Well,
yeah, like
I cannot wait to visit that soon.
like
Anyway, I'm going to our topic this afternoon. I'm actually thrilled and curious to know what made you into this journey of fasting and how it improves yourself.
um, yeah, it's from trying all the different diets, and a lot of diets are good, and but that I realized that when I started doing like monthly fasting, I feel good. And we started researching the intermittent fasting, and then the benefits show like faster results if you want to lose weight, if you want to have your hormones to be like your growth hormones. So a lot of it is from like wanting to find the fastest way to lose weight. but, but then I also watched the movie called Fasting from Gia, the Gia,
Mhm.
and then it had a lot of really interesting things. Like they use fasting to get rid of people's diabetes. Like there's these doctors that they specialize in diabetes, and then
Mm.
they're crying like all their patients keep dying. They keep giving medication and they keep dying. So they're like broken down in tears. And they tried fasting, letting them fast or suggesting that they fast, and they've seen a lot of good results just from fasting alone. So they're medical doctors, but then they provide fasting like treatments for them.
Yeah,
And
I will cut you into that for a while. I also I think I saw also a movie, something like that. It's a documentary wherein there's a facility where you can go for a retreat, and then you will go there just to water fast. So for 28 days, you will just be consuming only water to in the span of 28 days, and it promises to reverse the illnesses that your body is having, right? So,
yeah,
can you expound to us what is your idea or how this works? You know, the science behind the fasting. Why this fasting is reversing some illnesses, especially those chronic illnesses that we have right now.
um, I can't probably explain it scientifically, but I feel like it's just the cells. It's like the quality of your cell, right? When it duplicates the health or vitality of your cell. So if you're sick and
Mm,
you're producing new cells, you're just going to produce more sort of weak cells. So if your
mhm.
body is depending on itself to multiply cells, it's only going to get
Mhm.
stronger cells. So the stronger your cells are at this moment, when it multiplies, it's going to have the same strength cells. So I
Yeah.
think that's probably why the fasting helps you build the stronger cells in your body.
And may I add also to that? I guess because nowadays our environment is so polluted, right? You would
Yeah.
agree to me that we are surrounded with all the toxic matters and chemicals around us. So when we ingest something to our body and it creates a lot of disturbances, so might as well not taking something in to relax our body from this burden from the food that we are eating, right? So
Yeah.
it's another way of saying that for a certain period of time, we can do a fasting just to eliminate those impact of those chemicals in our system, and trying our body to reconnect back to its natural balance by letting them, what do you call this one, have the space or the time to heal itself. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
In your personal experience, how did you do it? You know, what was the protocol that you follow, and the specific method that you have followed when you start the fasting?
I just started like during work days because you're busy, right? So you
Mm,
can not think about food. If you do it in the weekend, it's more difficult because
yeah.
going around your house. So I just started like trying to not eat at 7 p.m. So I mean,
Mm,
eat by 7 p.m. only, and then so it takes a lot of like discipline to do that. So when I began, I would just eat like 3 p.m. So
mm,
and then so little by little, I started ending up just eating like five or six. So that's the
Mm,
only one that I eat. But then I'm not so strict. Like if I go to the mall, I have a habit of just eating something there. So if I go there like lunchtime, I'll eat something. And then so some days it'll be considered intermittent fasting, and some days it's gonna be the one meal a day fasting. So it's flexible. I don't like go to extreme.
mm. So
Yeah.
in between of that, you also consume something like liquid or anything in
Just
between.
water and then a lot of coffee. So I just drink coffee. And, like if
Okay.
I feel hungry, I'll drink coffee, and it helps me to get rid of the hunger, and at the same time, it helps speed your metabolism.
Okay.
Yeah,
So basically, what you were saying is because you are not so strict with the process of fasting, is you just listening to how your body's responding in
yeah,
relation to how you see the food, right?
yeah. It's like when you do yoga, you don't want to push yourself too much to get an injury, and
Yeah.
then sometimes if you fast too long too, like your immune system is gonna be open to catch like a virus or something. So
Mhm.
I don't want to get. You ever tried it? Like you didn't eat for so long that you get sick or something. So plus,
Yeah.
sometimes food is makes you feel happy. So you gotta do it makes you feel happy.
Yeah. Yeah. Some people don't realize actually that food is either toxic or healing. Yeah. And
Yeah,
sometimes out of lack of knowledge of what to put inside our body, we think that because we as Filipinos, we know that we eat a lot of rice, yeah, and it's part of our diet to eat more rice, and sometimes practicing fasting is quite, what do you call this one, quite challenging, because we have to eliminate the rice for a certain period of time. And then what happened is, when you eliminate the rice, there you go, there are a lot of discomfort that is popping up when you are fasting. So when you start this process, how does those discomforts appeared in you, or did you have any discomforts at all?
yeah. It's always harder, like the first day, second day, but then it gets easier after you get used to it.
Mm,
Because the first day, I guess it was hard, but it depends on your mindset the first day. So mine was pretty easy, but then the second and third was kind of hard. Yeah, and then you just gotta feel the pain, like you feel the hunger pain a little bit, but then
mm,
just gotta drink water and then um, just get your mind off food. But the good part is that like when you have your one meal or two meals, you enjoy the
mhm.
food even more.
Mm. Yeah, yeah,
Like,
I can relate to you with that.
yeah,
The
so
mindful eating, yeah.
should I do my mindful eating sample? Yeah,
Well, the thing about fasting, what fascinates me is its power actually to cleanse your body at its own pace. Yeah, that's
yeah,
that's one of the fascinating thing, that it's just taking off all the garbages that is lurking inside the cells, and
yeah,
then by not putting anything inside, yeah, so it's just a matter of letting your organs and your blood, all your body parts to have this um, relief from being bombarded with all the foods that you're taking in. So, like you, I'm also practicing fasting whenever in times of stress, because most people do the other way around. When they are stressed, they tend to eat more, especially
yeah,
binge eating. Yeah,
yeah,
and they don't realize that when they put so much food in time of stress, the more that their body is loading and stressful, to they are using their energy to digest the food that they are ingesting. So with fasting, I like what you're saying right now. all the benefits of that, and how does it works for you on the on mentally and in your behavior? Did you see
And
any
I
changes?
think I think it makes me sharper, and also so when you don't eat, like your body's gonna use the fat as energy. So instead of
Mm,
using the food, you're using the fat, and then it makes me feel better because also like it feels like my organs are relaxing instead of
mhm.
always digesting something. So it
Yes.
gives your organs a chance to relax and clean out your arteries. And so fasting is good for the heart. And
Mm-hmm.
so if it's good for the heart, it's also good for the brain. That's what's from this from somewhere I read it. But then yeah, so it's good for the brain, and then it helps me like finish work or get stuff done. Yeah. So I feel like I'm more productive when I do fasting, and then I think I have a clearer thoughts and also more spiritually connected because you don't have the food to get in the way, and I feel like it's helping me spiritually and mentally. And even
Yeah.
when I work out, like I work out 7 a.m. in Gold's Gym, I lift weights in the morning, and I have
Mm,
class like 9 o'clock. So I teach yoga, and I might
yeah.
have two classes. So so that's like three different workouts, and then
Mm-hmm.
I still don't feel hungry. So I feel less hungry the more active I am. And if I'm not active, then I guess I'll get hungry faster for some reason.
Yeah. But we should also have this precaution that it's not for everyone. Like you and me, we are doing yoga, we are doing meditation, we are into this spiritual pursuit, and simple people might not be the same as what we experience when we do fasting, right? So, like for example, for a simple folk who eat 3 times a day in their meal, they are conditioned to eat in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening. And when they try this process of not eating, it might take a very long time for them to cope with the situation, right? So I guess there's a precaution there because the downside of I heard that the very downside of fasting is muscle loss or weaknesses, lethargy. Why? Because when your body is not having the calorie that it needs to sustain your bodily function, then it will get somewhere else, like your muscles. Uh, your muscles is kind of energy that they can get. So, what is your advice for those people that who want to try this kind of process and then not suffering a muscle loss?
Yeah, for me, the muscle loss is I don't have muscle loss. I think you're gonna have muscle loss if you don't work out. So once you work out, you're gonna have the blood pumping in your muscles, and then it's gonna use your fat more
Mm,
energy. And I think probably the long-term fasting, like 5 days, you're probably gonna lose muscle. But if you do just daily fasting, intermittent, or one meal a day, I don't think you're gonna lose that much muscle. I think if you're trying to gain weight, then you shouldn't fast. You're gonna lose. But then if you're just like average and you're active, even if you lose muscle, you're probably not gonna notice it that much. But you'll
mm,
definitely notice the fat loss.
yeah.
Anyone see my muscle?
Wow. No, wow. Oh, wow. There you go. The muscles. Okay. Yeah.
Uh,
Compared to, I will show them. I will show them your body before when you were fasting or when you did not yet have your fasting, right? Uh, I have your pictures here when you were not yet fasting.
really? Now I
So
gotta
yeah,
show
let us
you
show
know,
that
so
so that people
where
will
is
have
it?
an idea. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So that they may have an idea that Yeah, you have lose. Okay. Okay, there you go. So there you go. So look at the belly. Look at the belly before and now. There you go. Mr. Guapo is now showing his abs.
I didn't know I
Okay.
was gonna do this. I could have did that last week.
Yeah.
Yes, so,
Um. Okay. Yep. Well, looking at your body right now, I'm I'm quite surprised that you have taken off your clothes. But anyway,
are you blushing?
going back, you can put on your clothes again.
Okay,
Okay.
this is not
Um.
that video call.
Yeah. Well, it's just to show that when you do fasting, your body is the first prime energy that your body is getting is from the carbohydrates. Yeah,
Yeah,
because that is what our body is wired to be. That when you don't eat food, your fats are actually the stored energy that you have. Yeah.
yeah,
So that's why you're accumulating fat in your body because that's your body's mechanism to support you in times of hunger. Yeah? Do you
yeah,
believe in that? Do you believe that? So when you do fasting, what happens is your fats are the first one to be consumed by your body to sustain your bodily function. Yeah?
yeah,
So what we are talking right now is about fasting is people think when they hear the word fasting, it's totally not eating anything. It's totally devoid of food. And what can you what can you add about what can you add on that? Because what you are doing is intermittent and like you say, you just hear what your body is telling you when to eat and what to eat. And yeah, what can you add to that?
yeah. It's so you don't have to worry because your body is gonna use the first source of energy is gonna be your fat. So it's called ketosis. That's what they use when it comes to ketogenic diet. And from what I researched was that it's fasting helps you get to ketosis faster than eating 3 meals a day, even if it's no carbs. So if you try fasting and then you work out, you're gonna feel that you have the same strength, and then
Mm,
you're gonna be using your fat as energy. So
yeah.
there's nothing to worry about when it comes um, to your energy level. But then if you're worried about not being able to eat, you just have to think sort of like get out of the Pablo's dog thing about 12 p.m. you have to eat lunch, 6 p.m.
Mm,
you have to eat dinner. So that's just that's only relative truth. A
mm,
relative truth is just what other people say you should do. You should eat at 8 p.m. Eat at 12. So, but the
mm,
absolute truth is that eat when you're hungry, or you can eat anytime you want, really. Like, so it's your choice when to eat. If you want to eat twice a day, or if you don't want to fast, it's okay. But then that's just the conditioning that we grew up with. That's the one that makes it difficult for people to fast because 12, everyone else is eating around them. So that's the time that I drink coffee. You guys eating? I'll just have my coffee.
mm.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about your diet. What is there in your plate? Because when
Wait,
you do fasting, you're not eating. So let's talk about what's in there in your plate and what are other activities that you incorporate to your fasting.
okay. I just eat. I'm eating from Healthy You. I have my food waiting for me. Just eating the vegan food. But
Mm,
then sometimes I still eat the fried chicken. So I'm still like someday transitioning. So I've been
okay.
transitioning for 3 years. But
Don't
then
worry about
I just
that.
eat
Yeah.
like protein still like just chicken, but I limit my food to a few things. Like beans is really good for protein. I do beans with some what's that, spinach. So I
Mm.
do that, and then that's what I like to eat too. Sometimes ground beef, or sometimes I just eat like McDonald's. Like you have your. I still have my good memories of eating McDonald's, and sometimes you just want to eat it. So you can still eat. The good part about fasting is you don't really have to watch your diet. If you eat once a day, it's gonna you have all this time to get rid of the toxin, and then but still watch your diet though. Like don't eat too much crappy stuff. So yeah, if you want to try fasting, the first day is just eat anything you want, but fast. And then later on, you can start changing to more healthy type of food. So that would be probably the best way to start.
Yeah. And I may add also to that that there are a lot of people who are practicing fasting in the platform of spiritual pursuit. So, like for you, you have been practicing fasting to as your body is allowing you to do that. Yeah. So, um, for those people who are practicing for higher consciousness, there is a relativity between fasting and doing fasting and their relationship with the food. So that is why in a yoga processes, people are fasting for cleansing, especially there are days that is very conducive for fasting. And why is that? Because there is the magnetic field or something, the energy of the earth that is connected to the moon, and then it's very conducive. So when you practice those days of fasting, it's easy because your body is naturally in harmonizing with the activity of the nature. So what you were saying a while ago is your own practice of fasting. I think my comment to that is, do you think it is intelligent that you have been eradicating some garbages in your body, and then when you have time and when you think of it, you will be putting it again? So what do you
Yeah,
say about that one? What is your
yeah,
comment about that one?
um, yeah. I think it's yeah. That's just what makes me feel happy. So like just for the taste and stuff. Yeah. So fasting just helps me to get rid of it. And then I think it's also the way you feel. Like you can eat like healthy food, but if you're feeling bad or thinking of
Mm,
things, you're still gonna be unhealthy.
yep.
So those people that they're still healthy, then they eat like a lot of fast food and yeah, the garbage food. But then, like Donald Trump, he's still kind of healthy and he eats McDonald's. Warren Buffet, like those people, they're still eating McDonald's every day, but then they're still pretty healthy in their way because they still find a way to like feel good in their own
Yeah.
way. So I think if you feel good, you still have a chance to not get illness, even if you eat a lot of different things. So I think that's the best way to um, eradicate like if you're eating like unhealthy things, and then uh, it's just make yourself feel good, and whatever you put in your body will also be digest properly and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, we have a question here from our viewers. Hi, Ma'am Maris. Good afternoon. Her question is, how do we prepare ourselves prior to fasting, and when is the perfect time to undergo fasting? So, you might want to add to that. I can also answer that. So, I want to hear from you first. What is your answer to
Okay.
that? How do we prepare ourselves prior to fasting, And when is the perfect time to undergo fasting?
Okay. Well, for me, just the day before, just you can eat as much as you want, so you have some energy for the next day. And then I would do it in work day instead of the weekend. So like a Monday or a Tuesday, you can just fast. And the easiest way to look at it is you have your last meal 7 p.m. tonight. Let's say you're fasting tomorrow. You have your last meal 7 p.m. so you can eat a big meal. And then just think that your next meal is 7 p.m. the next day. So that's a 24-hour fast. So it's
12
not,
hours.
it's not
Or 24 hours. 24 hours fasting.
uh,
Okay. Continue.
and then, yeah, if you want to do, I don't know the moon thing, maybe you can explain the moon cycle fasting. Mine is just like when you're most busy, that's the best time to fast.
Yeah. Well, my answer to this question is there are measures that you can do before the rigid fasting because um, what we call that pre-tox. Okay, pre-tox. Pre-tox means that you're eliminating certain kinds of food in your diet so that you can condition yourself that you will be undergoing this total fast. So that's what I mean with pre-tox. So for example, if throughout your life you haven't done yet fasting, what you can do is try an elimination diet wherein maybe for a week or two you can eliminate the junk food, okay, those junks or the oily or the fatty, the fried, or let's say the lechon, okay, the lechon.
Not the
So yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Well, it's just
yeah,
a matter of week, a matter of week or two that you can prepare yourself because abruptly when people go directly to a rigid fasting, what happened is there's a tremendous discomforts that they are experiencing, such as headaches, nausea, okay, and sometimes lethargy because of this abrupt change in your body, and all your cells is now purging out all those toxins that is there. It really disrupt the cellular function. So when you want to do it gradually, you can do some pre-talks wherein you eliminate those food that okay, that by common sense that is not good for your body to take in. Simple as that. Because I cannot say eliminate this food, this and that, and then you love eating it. And we know from the last guest that we have, she said that likes increases likes. Okay, likes increases likes. So it means that not all that we wanted is good for us. So for example, in a cold weather, if we want some ice cream, it's not good for us. So it's the same also as fasting. When we go further to when we delve ourselves into deeper fasting without the conditioning first, then it will have inside our system. Now, there's another question here. Uh, there's another question here. So we have a lot of people here very interested about fasting. So is it okay for people with maintenance medicines to undergo fasting? Do you have any idea about that one?
um, you gotta talk to a doctor that can specialize in that because from what I learned is that there's doctors that help you with fasting and they don't let you take maintenance. So
Yeah.
most likely don't take if you're gonna fast. I would say just don't take it and see what happens. But then I would say ask your doctor first. But then if you do fasting, if you have high blood, it should be able to help you. Because I think when you take maintenance, you take it with food. So if you're not eating
Mm,
food, there's no need to take it.
yeah. As
Just
a
try
health
it.
practitioner, yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry I cut to you. You're saying something. You can go on.
Oh, yeah. No, just to try it out, like for half a day, see if it works. So, for me, I don't really like to do any maintenance or prescription, anything like that. So if fasting might help you get off of that, so hopefully, um, but your doctor might not want you to get off your medicine. So talk to Nephi will help you get off your medicine and be your fasting coach. Yeah.
Um, with with regards to that, my say about that one, yes, for precautionary measure, you should listen to your doctor. Okay, but my for me, in my own opinion about this one, as to the basic principles of fasting, let's take a look how what is maintenance is for. Maintenance is for your blood to be. Uh, I think it's to let your blood flow. Yeah, it's the counter of thickening. Yeah, of your blood. So when you are taking maintenance, it's prohibiting your body to clot or yeah, it's thinning your blood. Now, what happened is when you take the medicine without the food, of course, the medicine that you're taking has the chemicals on that, aside from the properties that thinning the blood. Okay, so by principles in itself, if you take the medication, if you are taking maintenance and then you are fasting, automatically what happened to your body is your body is trying to eliminate the toxins and then you're putting something on it. Okay, so it's a contradiction between the two. So for people who are taking maintenance, they can start. There are a lot of things that go with the fasting. It's not only that you are not taking food. You can take it at a time. Elimination diet is what I will suggest. Elimination diet for a certain period of time, like a week or two, that you can eliminate those food that will trigger your high cholesterol level, okay, and then it will raise your blood sugar level, because all those things are very detrimental when you go to fasting. Okay, especially when, for example, if you're diabetes or you are taking maintenance and you are diabetic. Okay, it's very very crucial because your body is insulin resistant, having an insulin resistance, and it might seem that you are not eating anything, but the properties of those food that running into your blood, it's still there in your blood. You know, when you are insulin resistant and you are taking some maintenance. So let's just take it in another way of having this common sense that fasting is helping the body to heal in itself, because you're trying to rest your body from loading of these harmful chemicals coming from your food. And when we say fasting, it doesn't mean that you don't eat anything, that you are just, just like the yogi that for many years they have been sitting there for millions of years and not eating anything, just the rays of the sun and, just the air that they're circulating within to sustain the energy. It's not like that. We are now in a modern age wherein a lot of our food is very toxic. A lot of our food, even the environment, even if we don't eat, the air that we breathe, okay, the gadgets that we have, okay, it's all altering our system. So if the if the radiation, the Wi-Fi is already altering our body, or the system, the functioning of our body, how much for if you're loading it with toxic chemicals out coming from your food, right? So in a common nutshell, that's what I will suggest for people who have maintenance, is to have an elimination diet and then supply it with um, rainbow colored food, because there's a lot of um, scientific studies that support that people who are suffering from these blood related diseases, such as heart, the circulation, like high blood, um, diabetes, arthritis. Those are blood related diseases. So it means that there is something in your blood that is flowing in your body that is very toxic and altering the functioning of your internal organs. So fasting, fasting along with good food and supplying it with rainbow colored food. God made food, okay? God made food, not the man-made food or semi-processed foods. Because nowadays we can have some semi-processed food, but God-made food will help you to uh, bring back your body, that you are eating the food that the body is known, okay, like your liver known that this is the property of a carrot, not like when you read at the back of the label it says there C24203 like that. You know, when you read the label, do you experience that when you become into when you become conscious with your diet, when you go to the store, immediately you will see at the back of the label of the food. Have you practiced that one when you start to be conscious with your health?
I mean, I don't buy those kind of food. I don't do plans except for beans.
Yes, yes. So the simpler is, if your mind cannot read what's the ingredient in there and you don't know about that, okay, how much more is for your liver, okay? How much more is your liver accepting all those chemicals? So simple as that. So yeah, that's what will I suggest for people who are wanting to experience the benefits of fasting while having a certain condition right now in their bodies. Okay, so yeah, I'm glad that our listeners right now are very intrigued with the power of fasting. Now going back to you, going back to your story, and I know there are a lot of activities that you incorporate with fasting. Yeah, you do weights, and
Yeah.
let's talk about the sleep. How does your sleeping pattern is helping you to boost the effect of fasting?
It's fine. I didn't have any change in my sleeping pattern, so I don't think it changed much. But then, yeah, I feel like I have still a good night's sleep. And but I did wanted to add something like what from what you said that the reason for people to be on medication like high blood or anything like that is because of what they put in their mouth mostly.
Mhm.
So then that's why when you do fasting or start fasting intermittent a little bit, you're putting less food in your mouth and you're just allowing your body to let that food out. So
Yeah,
I think that if you're on the medication and stuff, try to observe to think maybe it's from what you're eating.
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, for me, the sleeping is fine. I think I feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I do the fasting.
Well, there is a certain study that tells about fasting, that when you consume the food 2 hours or 3 hours before you sleep, okay, it will have your body the maximum detoxification while you sleep, because that's the reason why we sleep. It's to rest our internal organs from all this operating during the day. So in a
Yeah,
common sense, if you will consume food before eating, for sure it will burden your system throughout the night. Yeah, that's why I ask you about your sleeping pattern, if it has changed since you have uh, since since you have started to go fasting, because ideally for some people in the stages of their lives, like you and me, we are on our 30s, right? You are younger than me, or I'm older than you. So anyway, in the
I guess as old as I
yeah,
look.
yeah, in the middle age, okay. Some of us are still on the peak of our health. You know, we still have this chance to either to to try things, like this intermittent fasting, ketogenic diet, paleo diet, so whatever it is, because we only want to what works for us, yeah. But for people who are now in the old age and trying and develop already some kind of disease,
Yeah,
um it's kind of hard to first the mindset, the mindset of not eating, because if you will consider that you have been conditioning yourself to eat 3 times a day and then suddenly you will change it, it's kind of hard, right? It's kind of hard.
you can still you can still teach old dog new tricks. Yeah, because our brain is like it's elastic. Like it can always change and make
Exactly.
um, new nerve
Yes.
cells. And stuff. Yeah, so I think if they can still change their mindset if they desire. Yeah.
Yeah. And there are also a lot of studies that proves that some of the diseases in our, some of the chronic diseases might be reversed if you do the fasting properly. Okay, so doing the right fasting, like like me and Mark are sharing today, it's not the devoid of taking food into our body. It's actually regulating your body to have a good relationship with the food. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
uh, because like for me, when I don't feel like eating,
Yeah,
I just listen to my body that I don't want to eat. I just drink water because maybe my hunger is not about the food, it's about the thirst. So differentiating the
yeah,
thirst and
that's,
hunger is quite a powerful practice for each and everyone. Now, if you want to add anything, if you want to add some tips and advice for people who want to start with their fasting, for me, that's my take. Okay, differentiate first if it is thirst or hunger. So
yeah,
how do you do that? When your belly is crumbling or something like that. First is drink water, and when you are satiated with water, it means it was thirst. But after you drink, and then you're still looking for food, okay? You're still looking for food, then you can start to eat. And the eating pattern is also a kind of discipline in there that you have to eat the fresh from the cook to cook one. So there's also a pattern to that, not the other way around. Okay.
yeah.
So there's another question here before you can add yours. So let's answer this first.
Yeah.
What is the best time for beginners to do a fasting? So what is the best time for a beginners to do fasting? So you can share because you have tried it.
Yeah. So the best time is right now, but then so it's the best time is probably you mean the best time to eat. So some people, if they do intermittent, they just eat lunch and dinner. So in between
Mm,
6 hours, like 12 and 6. So you can try intermittent first. Then if you want to do the one meal a day, a lot of times is lunchtime or early afternoon. For me, that one works for me. So probably 3 p.m. if you just want to eat one meal, or maybe 12 and 6 p.m. if you want to eat two meals. So it's not bad, I think. And yeah, that's true what you said about the thirst. Like people feel like they think they're hungry, but they're really thirsty.
yes,
And so that also be mindful of when you're looking for food, is it because of your emotion? Are you trying to cover some kind of emotion? So
exactly.
in order for you to really be effective in fasting is practice your mindfulness. Like, what's the reason you're looking for food? What's the reason you want this particular food? So you can find the reason and realize maybe it's not rational, or it's something that you can change within you. So yeah, I think if you want to start, you can just start intermittent fasting first, so 12 to 6, or you can choose your time between 6 hours. And I think that's the easiest way to start. You're just skipping one meal, so you should be fine. Just try skipping one meal and just drink a lot of water, and that's a good way to start.
And I may add also to that. I guess it depends to a certain type of people. Like for example, if a person is into weight loss, okay, weight loss, the
Yeah,
it's preferred to not to eat in the morning because when you do your exercise, it can burn a lot of stored fat
yeah,
in your belly. Okay, so that's another one. But if you are not into weight loss and if you are into weight gain, okay, the best time for you to for me, the best time that I could advise for people who are into weight gain is to eat in the morning. Okay, to eat in the morning and then going to the afternoon and no eating at night. No eating at night. So
That's the most difficult for me.
yeah, because for people also who are sick, okay, who are these illnesses, they can skip actually dinner. Yeah, why? Because um it is it's already in the psychology that we don't necessarily actually need food going to sleep. Okay, it will just add up, and you don't need a lot of energy while sleeping. So that's one of the biggest secret in there. So for people who are trying to maximize their healing capacity through fasting, they can actually eliminate their dinner or having a small portion of soft meal before they go to sleep if they cannot really eliminate eating during at night. Because for us, okay, for us who are still not in this stage of our lives, who are still passionate, okay, sometimes eating is a type of comfort. Okay, we don't necessarily need the food, but we love munching because there is a stress relief in our jaw that we keep on munching and munching and it releases all the tension that we have for the day for during our stressful life. So so for me, yeah, those kind of people, when you want to start, when you want to begin, well, the best time is it depends on your body type, depends on your condition, and another also is what is your spiritual goal? Because like for me, I'm into uplifting my consciousness. I want to when I do meditation, I want to achieve this higher state, you know, to overcome the altered state. Then sometimes my relationship for the food is I'm only putting what is necessary for my body, which is I'm only eating those food that is beneficial for me and eradicate those food that will pull me back to this energy that is circling around that is connected to the food in a subtle way. So so it depends on your goal, it depends on your situation and the type that you have. So there's another question. Sir Mark,
Awesome.
we have seen your picture before compared to how you look right now. How long did it take you to achieve such weight loss? Will intermittent fasting be a permanent lifestyle change for you? Aside from weight loss, what other good results have you gained from intermittent fasting?
Um,
So she's
yeah,
asking, yeah.
who's that? Do I know her? Yeah,
Ma'am
it's
Maris, okay, Ma'am Maris,
yeah,
hi,
hello.
Ma'am Maris.
Um,
Her husband
yeah,
actually is intermittent fasting and kept intermittent fasting. So I know that this question is very um, relevant to her.
uh,
So how long? The first question is
thing
how
one month.
long did it take
Yeah,
you to achieve the weight loss?
yeah, it's 1 month, I think. If you
One
do it,
month.
yeah. I lost like 10 pounds in 1 month, but
Mm,
I'm working out, but not I'm not even working out every day. So
mm,
it's like the fastest way to lose weight is
yeah.
intermittent fasting. So you can do 2 meals a day or 1 meal a day. I think in one weekend when I was active, like running and stuff, I
Mm,
lost like 4 pounds in like a few days, and then I kept it off and from continuing my exercises and intermittent fasting, and so I'm not so strict with the diet. Like I can still eat. So I was
mm,
eating still, the lechon or liempo and stuff, but not all the time. Just if it's there, I'll eat it. And I still lost weight, and I didn't do any carb cutting. I actually doubled my rice from, if I eat 1 meal a day, I'll double my rice. I'm like, but
yeah.
then if you do like still watch your diet plus intermittent fasting, you can probably still lose more than 10 pounds. And I
Mm,
think 10 pounds is healthy for me because I'm like 100. I was 196 pounds and
mm,
now I'm 184 pounds. so
Mm.
about 12
In
pounds.
1 month. 1 month.
It started New Year's, but then I did prep the week before. I did a weekend fasting for Christmas, and then from January 1, then I started doing my intermittent fasting, and then I gradually went to the 1 meal a day, and
Now the
then
second,
oh
yeah,
yeah, what's the second question?
the second question is, will be the intermittent fasting be a permanent lifestyle change for you?
Yeah, I think so. I think I'll be intermittent fasting, and then I might have my cheat days. So I think even like the CEO of Twitter, the Jack something, he's eats 1 meal a day. Um, the guy from Apple, Steve Jobs. So there's a lot of people that are still productive and they eat 1 meal a day. So I don't think I'll see any negative results from it as long as I um, stay mindful of if it's not working, if it is working. So hope you give it a try, and maybe you can permit it first.
Yeah. So if you will determine 2 or 3 good results from intermittent fasting, what will it be? The
Uh,
2 or 3 that the common at the top of good results that you gain from intermittent fasting. What is that?
there's one that's the weight loss, so that's the physical, and the other one is you do feel more productive. Your mind, you have a sense of accomplishment. Like you can pat yourself in the back, like yeah, I can eat for the whole day, and then you
Yeah.
can compare yourself from before when you're eating 3 meals a day just because of the time. And then the third one is I feel like I'm more in touch with my intuition, like making better decisions. And then so I'll add one more for you guys. If you start
Okay.
today, by Valentine's Day, you're gonna be looking good for Valentine's Day. You'll be like maybe 2 pounds. You might lose like 1 kilo, maybe 2 kilos by Valentine's Day.
So now I know why you are preparing all such. No, I'm just joking. When you say you for the Valentine's Day, you will be looking more attractive, especially if you have partner. If your body has been into fasting, because one of the benefits of fasting is to clear your skin. Yeah, clearing skin, and then um, I was thinking a while ago when you're saying those things that you're doing is first when you do fasting, what happens is you are eliminating all the stored fats in your body, and thus you lose weight. And then once you have weight, you have now to gain muscles, because muscles is one of those power. It will give you power to burn more fats once you have gained the muscles. Yeah, it's a common theory that for you to for you to burn calories or to burn more fats, you have to gain muscles. Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's the other way around of saying it. And when your metabolism is good, going back, eradicating all these chemicals, then the circulation is good. Might as well, it might reverse all your chronic diseases that is blood related. So that's the essence of fasting. There's another one from Mamaris again. So,
hey,
have you encountered any negative effects of fasting? My son went on a 3-day fasting, taking only water, and he had a massive hair loss. Is this normal?
oh
So
yeah,
those
how many days was that? That's few days or not
3 days,
one?
only water. Yes, only water fast for 3 days, and he has
Yeah,
a massive
that,
hair loss.
yeah, that happens to some people depending on their could be the genetics or something in their DNA. But then I think if you do that, you gotta have I guess you gotta have more practice first. But I'm not sure why he had that massive hair loss. Maybe he's losing it anyway, and it guess. I'm not sure why you had the hair loss, but for me, I didn't have any negative effects. Just felt weak a little bit, and then I would recommend if you fast, it's good if you also exercise because it's gonna burn faster. Like, and then I don't know about that hair loss thing because I didn't experience that. I
Yeah.
experienced cooler things, I guess, but yeah, I don't know where that came from with the hair loss.
Well, I will add to that. Hair loss is one kind of you have to determine if you are just having hair loss because of the shampoo that you are using. Okay, that's very common. You know, when the shampoo is too strong, and then when you comb your hair, you've got a lot of hair loss. Okay, but if it is already that when you grab your hair and it's massive in there, okay, that's total hair loss. It means that your body is undergoing under stress. Okay. So just remember also that when you are fasting, the wrong way of fasting, you are creating stress inside your body because, like what I said a while ago, it's a massive disturbance of your cellular level when you do it the wrong way. Okay. So when you do it abruptly, that's a massive disturbance inside your cells mechanism. So so your body is now reacting under stress. Okay, so your body is now reacting under stress, so that is why there is some kind of hair loss that's happening there. And when you incorporate also that with an exercise which is energy draining exercise, the more that you will have those stress, and then you will see that hair loss. Because I've seen a lot of people who also undergo into ketogenic diet, and then they experience this keto flu. Okay, also in a regular fasting, because before I've tried to have a 5 day fasting, only water, only water and coconut water. Yeah, that's very important in fasting. One important key in the fasting is not only to drink water, but water with electrolytes. Okay, because electrolytes is what keeping your energy flowing. Okay, so people misunderstood that, yeah, water fast is enough, but actually the water that we have nowadays is dead. You know, there's no more minerals in there. It's totally eradicated with all the minerals in there that your body needs for having that electrical energy. What I'm saying here is, actually we can survive 30 days without food. Okay, we can also survive 7 days without water, but 3 minutes without air is very deadly. Okay, so when you do fasting and then you're experiencing these changes in your body in a dramatic way, so it means that you're not doing good. Instead, you're purging your body into that state wherein you're doing the fasting very, very wrong. Yeah. So what I can suggest for that, if you're experiencing, is again, try to have some meditation, some energy balancing exercises such as meditation, yoga nidra, uh, yin yoga instead, just to let your body to shut off your nervous system first for all the stresses that it causes during the fasting. So that is my advice. And for people who want to have to try this intermittent fasting, me and Sir Mark now is the emblem, or the one to emulate, because for just 1 month he succeeded to gain the result of his fasting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess we have discussed everything. And by the way, just the precautions to everyone that fasting is not for everyone, and it's we don't also advise that one to people with certain condition. Okay, so it's good that you will ask your doctor about it, and then you can also find some other practitioner, like for example a health coach, a nutrition coach, or a yoga practitioner to um to support your fasting. Like for example, me and Mark, our yoga teacher, we can guide you to lessen the stress while you are in the fasting mode.
That's
Okay.
true. But yeah, I
Yeah.
was gonna make a thing too, like support group for fasting. Like if you guys wanna do a group, then
Wow.
maybe we'll meet here in the studio.
Yes.
We'll come by and then we'll do like once a week. Then we just like support each other, see how we're doing.
Yes.
So yeah,
Yes.
you can do like a support group for fasting if you want, and then we'll see like help each other out and motivate each other.
Yeah. So um, tell them, Sir Mark, how they can connect with you and what else that you are growing to help people with what you do in your life today. So, how can we connect with you and what it is that you are growing right now so that you can reach more people?
Yeah, you can just message me in Facebook, and then so right now I don't know, like I didn't really plan this, but I have a yoga studio now. So I have like a business downstairs and the yoga studio upstairs, and then so I'm planning to make it like not just for yoga, but also meditation and also like talks, like talk about law of attraction, metaphysics, goal
Mm,
setting, all kinds of personal development stuff. And I was even thinking like you can stay here, like if you want to fast the whole day, you can just stay here and then just read some books or something or do your work here. And then it can be like a little bit of a mini tryout for your
many
fasting.
lands. Yeah. Yeah.
You can stay at night for in the morning, then you can just go out by 7. But
Now,
it's just ideas for now when it comes to fasting. But for sure, I might have the yoga, then boxing, and other activities in the studio. You can come
yeah.
join me.
So is it for free or do you tend to have some um is
Uh,
it for do you offer it as a certain there's a certain
yeah,
gate pass that the people can pay?
so we can do for some classes. I did really want it to be all donation based kind of place,
Mhm.
but I gotta
Mhm.
see like if it can sustain that. And then the second is we can have like paid classes and donation based classes, like for meditation or the fasting group. Those kind of things can be donation based. And if there's any teachers that want to teach donation based, you can teach here donation based. So because yeah, I like the donation based thing. Then we're gonna do feeding like once a month in the
Yeah.
Tipadelia. It's funny.
Yeah.
I'll just tell you a quick story about spirituality and karma. We found this kid's wallet in West Dam Lagoon, right? And it had his ID,
Mm.
had some money in it. So we called
Yeah.
the number on the ID. It was his mom, and we returned it. And then the
Mm.
same day, my wife lost her phone. Like she put it on the top of the car, and it
Okay.
fell. And then it fell. Then we kept calling it. Then somebody, the barangay captain from Tipadilla, answered. He said somebody brought the phone in, and for some reason, a taxi driver and a bicyclist were fighting over the phone because the bicycle guy wanted to keep it. So they gave it to the Tipadilla barangay captain. And then since I've always been talking about doing feeding, so then I was, well, let's do it here because when I went to Tipadilla, it was a lot of like street kids
Wow.
and stuff. And then the barangay captain said it's good to have a feeding there because there's a lot of malnourished children. So then
Mhm.
that's weird. I think the only reason we got the phone back is because we gave the wallet back. So the wallet
Yeah.
was a test. I was like, yeah, give it back. So we don't have bad karma or something. And then we
Yeah.
actually, yeah, so something spiritual happened there. And it
Yes.
ended up with doing the feeding program. And Tito Dilias, the barangay captain there, will help us with that. If anyone wants to join, you can join with that too.
Well, based from your story, that's one of the things that amaze us when we are practicing fasting along with our spiritual, upliftment and other things that we are doing. There are just things that unfolds along the way that without our beyond our expectation. And yeah, and it always turns good along the way.
Yeah.
So as much as I wanted to ask about what you have in your journey of fasting, and I think we have covered it all. That yeah, one last thing I think that you can share to our viewers is, if you will rate yourself now, doing that fasting for 1 month, if you will rate yourself 100% the highest level, how does it how much percentage is that in your productivity? How much is
Productivity.
that? Yes, for productivity.
Yeah, I think it's 50%. I want to say double, but I never. So probably 50% more. I'm like, when I think of something, just get it done. Because sometimes you want to get something done, but then let's eat first. So get more things done instead of eating. Like, I have nothing else to do. I have to do this. Plus, if you don't eat lunch, you can do the work during lunch. Do some projects or self development. So you save 2 hours a day. So you might, instead of eating breakfast and lunch, you save 2 hours to be more productive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
If you choose to do productive things.
yeah. Well, some people are very productive. Sometimes also forgot to eat food. Yeah,
Yeah,
because yeah. So it's another
that's
way
true.
of sometimes you divert your attention to too much of working, and then you forgot to eat your food. But along the way, it's still helping you in a way, as long as you are still functioning well. You know, because because if you think that you are out of focus and then you start to have some blurry vision, then you really need some food now to
Yeah.
to take in. So yeah, I think common sense should be partnered with fasting. Yeah, because we have our own way of determining how we can have that relationship with our food.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So thank you very much, Sir Mark, for
Thank
having this
you.
time of sharing to us your wonderful story. Yeah. And I hope to hear more about you about those when we talk in the future, if you will have this opportunity and if you will lend me your time. I want to know actually more on the personal and social development topics that we can discuss in the future. So yeah, I would be glad hearing more about it in the future.
Yeah, we can come. Yeah, we'll talk. We'll do doing the feeding, and there's a lot of stuff. Yeah, we can do. Right.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time. And yeah, it's time to eat. It's time to eat.
Yeah, let's eat.
Thank you very much. See you around, bro.
Take care.
Okay. There you go. So we have discussed a lot of things about fasting. Fasting is doesn't mean that you will not take anything and you will eradicate those food that is very essential to your body. No, fasting is a kind of practice that where you can have the time to rest your body for for ingesting of those harmful chemicals that is coming from our food, and a good way also to say that fasting is helping us to reconnect back how we can have this relationship with our body, because sometimes loading ourselves with too much is not helping, rather than eliminating something that is part of us that has been lurking there for many years. And that is fasting is all about. Fasting is not only about food, it's also you can think of fasting that if you have the discipline to eradicate some things that is bad in your food, how much more when you are able to differentiate the good and the bad things that is coming into your life. So I hope you have gained something this afternoon, and Yes, fasting is very helpful to help us achieve the level of our performance and increase our productivity. Catch you again next week. I am signing off. Thank you for listening. And for now, see you next week.